And you know what might be nice? It might be nice if you let me save some of the money that were paid before you know, make it disappear. You do know it's a total waste, right? Or do you do it just to be petty? I know you're hungry. We've been over this. You're always hungry. But you're kind of eating our savings, dumbass. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in this stupid tent that's always cold, telling fortunes for the rest of my life. I don't know. Somewhere sunny? Somewhere with white sand and blue sky, girls in swimsuits. Somewhere that I can stretch out and forget about the future and get a tan? What does it matter? You're never going to let me, anyway. Shh. Shut up. Welcome, traveler. You're here to have your fortune told, correct? If you'll just take a seat. Who was I just talking to? Oh, I was on the phone. Yeah, it wasn't anyone important. Don't worry about it. Sit down. Sit down, let's get started. Because what is important is you, and how with my insight I can help you achieve your ideal future, while avoiding the less optimal routes. What do I mean? You did see the fortune-telling sign outside the tent, right? You're funny. I can already see that you often find yourself standing in places completely forgetting why you're there in the first place, huh? Your curiosity frequently gets the better of you, even when you're not conscious of it. You see, the problem is, even now, you're only half awake. So even though your curiosity is leading you to things that could help you later in life, you walk right past them, never realizing you ever crossed paths in the first place. Or something like that. I mean, what would I know, right? You don't really believe in fortune-telling anyway, do you? Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to lecture you. It's not like you'd really listen to me, being half awake and all. Instead, I'd like to offer you a choice. It's the same choice that I give everyone who stands where you're standing. Option 1 is that you can turn around right now and walk out of here, and we can pretend that our paths never met. Simple. Or you can sit down, and I can help satisfy the curiosity gnawing away under your insides. And maybe, instead of going through life wandering aimlessly from room to room, not knowing how or why you're there, you'll know exactly where you want to go and exactly how to get there. Or I can just help you answer whatever dumb questions you feel like asking me. Whatever takes your fancy. How much? Oh, won't be anything you can't afford. It's never been anything more than what someone's had on them. Honestly, it's a total steal. Session is as long as you need it to be, and I don't charge by the minute or anything. But if you start repeating the same questions over and over, I end the session. Because it's annoying. Capiche? Okay. Well, what's it going to be? Sit or spin? All right. Then I guess we can get started. Now, first thing you're going to need to know is that I only accept yes or no questions. So, Don't ask me if any dead relatives have any messages for you, or anything about your aura, or any of that mess, alright? Because I don't know. Sorry to disappoint you. Now, the second thing is how we're doing this. I don't read palms, or tea leaves, or cards, or do anything weird with gemstones. Instead, I use a ball. And before you ask, no, not a crystal ball. It's... Okay, well, it'll be easier if I just show you. I'm assuming that you know what this is. Ding, ding, ding. Correct, it is absolutely an 8-ball. 10 points. This is what I use. So, do you understand now why I only accept yes or no questions? Yeah, okay. I've seen the look that you're giving me before. Everyone and their dog gives me that look when I bring out the ball. And okay, yeah, I get the skepticism, and it's fine. Like I said, you don't really believe in fortune-telling anyway, so you'd be pulling that same face even if I had just pulled out a lump of crystal. It's fine. You'll change your tune. They all do. Because the main issue with crystal balls is that you have to believe in what I, a stranger, am telling you the crystal is showing me. You wouldn't know if I'm lying or not, because it's a crystal ball and I could easily say some bullshit about needing a third eye or something to see it. But the 8-ball is different. You don't have to put blind trust in me, because you can see the answer for yourself. Still making that face, huh? That's fine. How about we start with your first question? Remember, yes or no. And you can't just ask again if you don't like the answer it gives you. And also, I have to be the one who shakes it. Sorry, it's the rules. Do you have your question? All right, I'll shake it. Here we go.
Ask again later.
Seriously? Seriously? On the first question? Fine. Okay, it's officially later. Let's try this again.
Reply hazy. Try again.
Why do you always have to be such a... Okay. One more try, okay?
I'll look good.
Good. Okay. So that's your first question done. Is something wrong? Are you feeling all right? You just look a little bit startled. Are you good to continue? Okay, how about I ask some questions for you while you regain your composure. I know all of the usual questions that people ask, and the answer won't change just because I'm the one asking. And it'll give you time to think of more questions. Does that sound good? Alright, let's start by knocking out some of the easier ones. 8-ball. Is our friend here going to win the lottery in the future?
Don't count on it.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Only had one person get a science point to yes to the lottery question. And to be fair, it's not like winning lotteries is always a good thing. Ever read The Lottery by Shirley Jackson? Okay. So usually the next question is, Ah, you got your eye on someone? Typically, the big question isn't money, it's love. So, 8-ball. Are the romantic prospects for our friend here on the favorable side?
Better not tell you now.
8-ball. Same question.
Better not tell you. Signs point to no.
Ouch. Okay, but that was admittedly a little vague. Favorable was the key word, so you might just have a hard time in love rather than outright never find love in any way, shape, or form for the rest of your life. Maybe. Try not to dwell too hard on that one. Is there anything that you can do to improve your chances? Potentially. We can ask if you'd like, since it's a yes or no question, but if nothing is offered beyond that, then you're on your own with figuring out where to go from here. All right? 8-ball. Is there anything that our friend here can do to improve their romantic prospects?
Yes. Perhaps an improvement of hygiene would be effective.
Well, there you go. Doesn't get much clearer than that. Well, usually. Oh, don't look so offended. It's like this with everyone. Even me. Watch. Magic 8-ball, am I pretty?
Really? That's what you went for? I suppose.
See? I mean, look at me. I think this face deserves a bit more than an I suppose. Don't you? Never mind, it's not important. The point is, don't get too hung up on the small stuff. After all, it could have said something much worse. Trust me. You want to know more? I don't know if that's such a great idea. I can ask it for more if you want, but... Alright, a few more questions won't hurt as long as we're careful. You have someone particular in mind, right? Word of advice, you might want to avoid out and out asking, do they like me? Because just because they like you now doesn't mean much for the future. And vice versa. A better question would be, will they like me? But that's also pretty vague. After all, they might only like you for a day. Yeah, it's fortune telling. It's honestly better for your morale if it remains a little vague. Well, sure, we can try and narrow it down if you really want, but I don't recommend it. It usually just made the other clients unhappy. Alright, guess we're doing this then. So, 8-ball. Assuming that our friend follows your advice, do they have any chance at romantic success with the person they're thinking of?
It's possible, but are you sure that's what you want? After all, do you really know what this person is like? Do you truly think you'll be happy just because they said yes?
Well, it asked you a question. You don't really seem to be handling this very well. Do you still want to continue? No judgment. All right. But I offered. Did you want to keep going with this line of questioning? Because if you do, we run the risk of Hey, Ball, it looks like our friend is still feeling curious, so will they still be happy with that person once they're actually together?
As I see it, yes. For as long as it lasts.
Okay, I would really suggest not asking any more questions about that person. How long will it last? No, you really shouldn't.
Too late. They already did. She's right, you know. You shouldn't ask questions you don't want the answers to. But since you asked so politely, I'm happy to oblige your curiosity. One crisp autumn morning, after almost a year of being together, the two of you will go for a walk. But, as fate would have it, you shall return home alone.
I tried to warn you. No, this isn't a joke. You wanted to know the future, and I told you that it's best to leave things a little vague. But once you've gotten your answer, that's your answer. There aren't any redos here. I'm sorry, it'd probably be for the best if you gave up on that person. For both their sake and yours. Okay? Don't ask any more questions about this. Instead, how about a more lighthearted question? We can ask about whether you should invest in cryptocurrency, or is there anything you can do? No, don't.
Tell me, human, do you really think you can bear to see the one you love die before your very eyes? Because every future where you confess to them has the same dead end. I'll spare you the gory details, but, needless to say, it won't be pretty.
I told you to stop asking, didn't I? Didn't I? I'd feel bad for you, but I can't. Because this is your fault. What? How hard is it to not ask a question? Why do so many people come in here and ask questions that they know that they really don't want to know the answer to? You could have stopped at fixing your romantic prospects and moved on. Instead, you've pushed for an answer that you didn't really want anyway. And then you pushed again. Honestly, you're almost as stupid as the people who ask if they're going to die soon. No, don't you dare ask if it'll be.
Oh, it really is such a pity when they ask that one. Wouldn't you say, "Oh, great Madam Fortune Teller"? You've seen this play out enough times to know what happens next. They never like the answer, do they? You always try to warn them, but it's no use. They never realize that the more they ask about the end, the closer it gets, until it's right around the corner.
You're unbelievable. No, I'm talking to you. I expect this from the ball, but I was hoping that you would at least have some common sense. Why would you ask about your own death? I just said how stupid that is. And what did you do? Yeah, I hope that you don't expect me to feel sorry for you, because I don't. This is how it works. You ask a question, and you get an indication of what's coming. But ask too many questions, and telling your future becomes telling your future what to do. You wanted to know? Well, congratulations. Are you happy now that you know?
Very doubtful. Don't worry. That prediction comes free of charge.
I wasn't. Never mind. No, there's no point in asking again. You can sit there asking the same question over and over again, but like I said, the answer won't change. You know what? I think we're done here. You're already repeating questions, which typically means there's nothing more for me to do here. What do you think?
Without a doubt. Besides, I've gotten pretty hungry from making all these predictions.
Which means it's time to pay up. So will that be cash or credit? Just kidding. I don't have a card reader anyway. No, I'll just take everything you have in your pockets. No, you heard me. Everything in your pockets. No, I'm not robbing you. That's the payment. Whatever you have in your pockets is the payment. So anything from receipts and ticket stubs to your keys, your wallet, your hands, whatever's in there. No, I'm not kidding. Turn out your pockets. Come on, don't be a pain about this. We're not exactly asking for much here. And regardless of how you may feel about the answers you got, you did get your answers. Which means we did our job. Which means you owe us. Now you've just gotten a fair bit of bad news, so I want to believe that this is your way of acting out. But if you think that you can get out of paying just because you didn't like your answers, you've got another thing coming. You wanted real fortune telling, right? Well, congrats. You just got it. What is that thing? What? The ball? You really think I know? It's always been this way. People come, they ask the ball questions, and it gives them answers. And when it's finished giving those answers, it needs to eat. Reaching into the future and pulling out answers is hungry work. And all it asks for is whatever is in your pockets. It's actually a pretty great deal if you're traveling light. I mean, I do understand it's a bit of a pain to replace IDs or house keys, but that's the trade-off, I guess. So I'm going to ask one more time. And just in case you're thinking of dining and dashing, remember, it'd be so very, very easy to find you. And when we do, we'd have to find something else to feed this thing. Do you understand?
Please, pay up quickly, human. I worked so very hard to tell your fortune, and it would be a shame if all that work went to waste. But if I get any more hungry, I might just need to cut your future short.
Thank you for watching. And thank you to Captain Nemo VA for collaborating with me and for all of his help in the past. Without him, there would be no pirate girl and no succubus wife. This video was for Aito for being the highest donor on Ko-Fi 2 months ago. Thank you for the suggestion and a very happy late birthday to you. Thank you to Aito, Blazing, Dire, Gray, Phantasmic, and the rest of my Patreon supporters. And thank you to Valera and Visible Signs and the rest of my Ko-Fi supporters as well. And thank you for 8,000 subscribers. I am still absolutely floored that this has happened, and I don't know what to say. I'm just really happy that you're enjoying this with me. All right, have a good day, night. You've earned it.